said, my name is Sean Hubbard. I'm running for U.S. Senate. We all know that lawyers, lobbyists, and millionaires are not underrepresented or marginalized in Washington. As a matter of fact, they spend a great deal of time and money ensuring that the rest of us are underrepresented and marginalized. We started this campaign to prove that regular folks still matter, that the rest of us still had a voice, that this was still our democracy. Now, I'm not your most likely candidate. I'm probably not what you would expect to be here as a candidate for U.S. Senate. You may have noticed that I'm young. I'm 31 years old. I don't have a lot of legislative experience like my opponent, but there is a lot of age and legislative experience in Washington right now, and it's not working out very well. I don't come from a politically connected or wealthy family. I'm the great-grandson of a carpenter and a letter carrier, the grandson of a carpet salesman, small business owner, and public school teacher. Until recently, my father owned a small hardware store. He had to shut it down because the economy got bad. As a matter of fact, it was right over here in Whitewright, Texas. My wife isn't your typical candidate spouse. She doesn't come from a politically connected or wealthy family either. She was born in a concentration camp outside of Battambang in Cambodia during one of the worst genocides that this world has ever witnessed. Her father had to risk his life to smuggle food to his family, get them to refugee camps in Thailand and the Philippines, eventually getting to America where he found work as a carpet weaver. So we haven't been groomed for this. We haven't spent years preparing for this. We simply looked around and said there is something wrong going on in America right now. Over the last several decades, we have seen Wall Street and the top 1% prosper, while Main Street and the rest of us have struggled. We have seen the worst economic crisis in many of our lifetimes, and Wall Street has continued to prosper, while Main Street has suffered the consequences. We have seen Ronald Reagan convince our nation that government is bad, that government is the problem, and that anyone who thinks government can do something for you is un-American. Well, what I say to that is, what purpose does our government serve if not for the betterment of our society? What good are we if we cannot lift up those who are poor and treat those who are sick? Our founding fathers, when they signed the Constitution, they were saying we are in this together. But we have gone from a society that values community to a society that values wealth. And that's been great for Wall Street, but it hasn't been so good for the rest of us. We have gone from pools of liberty and waters of justice to trickle-down economics. And we know what they mean when they say trickle down. Let the rich drink as much as they like. And maybe, when they're drunk, they might overfill their glass, and a little will trickle down to the rest of us. What we have to do is get back to that spirit of community. That idea that our nation is always stronger when those willing to work hard can succeed. Now, come November, you will obviously have a choice. You can choose David Dewhurst and his buddies, who have consistently put Texas last in education, last in healthcare, last in breathable air. Or you can choose a Democrat, somebody who will put Texas first, put Texas students first, Texas women first. But before we get there, you have a choice to make in the Democratic primary. Now, some folks working for my opponent like to say I'm running a vanity campaign. They want to distract us from this being about issues that are important to Texans. Issues like good paying jobs, health care for everyone, good schools. And we will not be distracted from those issues. You can choose your candidate the way we have done the last 20 years. Take the candidate that Austin gives you, watch him run the same stale campaign, and come November he'll get 42% of the vote if he's lucky. Or you can choose a new type of candidate, a fresh type of campaign. A candidate that won't run away from being a Democrat, but instead embrace it and redefine how it is we win. But if you're going to do that, you're going to have to show a little courage. The courage to stand up to Wall Street and say, no, you won't do us this way. The courage to stand up to the Koch brothers and say, no, our democracy is not for sale. And the courage to stand up and break the corrupting alliance of politics, money, and media. That's what I ask of you. Try something new and show a little courage. If you are willing to do that, come November, Barack Obama will win. We will win. And to quote Harry Truman, we will make Republicans like it. I ask for your time, I ask for your commitment, I ask for your contributions, I ask for your votes. We are in a dogfight in this primary and we need your help. Early vote now. If you can't do it, vote on Election Day, May 29th. I'm Sean Hubbard. I'm running for U.S. Senate. I ask for your support. Thank you very much.